Today is the one before the last lecture, and I hope you all start to thinking or start to write your web page, use this W3 styling. So you can use the one, but anyway, I expect to get your homework before next Wednesday. So we're going to review it. I know this time the whole class session is short and your school start, but I'd like to have a good ending since this W3 CSS to styling your page is very interesting, and you can get a really good professional looking through your website. So how many of you already started to write your page? To voice, I'll send it to the chat. So is any of you started to work on your homework? Okay, so now you only have a 1 week to work on it. We still have a award this time. And yes, I think it's okay. If you don't have time, you couldn't finish it. But if you learn something, you think you really learned some from this class, that's okay too. I know the school start, and I just give you more demos. But we still have an award, so you have 1 week to work on it. All right, we start. This I know the topic is kind of hard, extensive. The concept is not hard, and but just have too much information, and I try to just pick the most important, but still it's just a lot of information. So today we will first review the font. So last time I mentioned use Google font. And also today we use to use icons. And I will be detailed on how to find the Google font and find the icons. What the icon is look like this. You know, on your website, you see the home and all these buttons. It's similar. This come from either from Google. This come from called font also. So we start to review the font. font, Google font. Oh, yes. I was thinking. Click the font button. You know, from Google font, it's here, it's use Google font. There's only 2 lines. One is linked. I just start a brand new, okay? I'm going to start anew to make sure we know how to. And I save us to my lecture, okay? I don't want to overwrite that, -1. Okay. I think I may pick the previous one. Here is you use a Google font. The problem is when you pick this, I'm in local, so may not show very well. That's why I want to. So all you need is just 2 lines. Oh yeah, they already have a code. I should copy their code just to make it quicker. All right. So here's we did 2 things. Number 1, I put W3. So this one so far we haven't do too much except to just put a container. So the container means is we have a gap between this and this, left side and right side. And the next is, that's the Google font. And the Google font, we have to define the user style. So can use this Google font. The problem is, here is in this W3, tell me which font. If I want to use a different font, what I can do. So you search Google font. I think I searched. So it's a font.google.com. And then you go here, you see, okay, all this font. I happen to like this font. Okay, not this one. It's make one very obviously. So basically they list by the order, the popularity, the order. And then for example, I like this font, Open Sans. I click in, and then you look here. And any of them, if you like it, and here's a plus sign. It's not what I was thinking. Why not do for me? Okay, so I want to know how to use it. It's not to do for me again. And I don't want to load it. I want to know the URL, basically this one. And the instruction said, click, yes, now it's back. Here is click the plus sign. And then here's give you the URL link. And then it's CSS, give you this. So if I copy this code, and the font family, I comment this out because I want to keep whatever I have over there. Let's see if we, that's always the struggle, is you want to find a certain font and then how to use it. Let's see if we get changed. Okay, so it's changing to the font we like. And I picked this one. So, and here is downloadable. So that's basically how to pick anything. Here is, we definitely need to read a little more because this is still not totally satisfied with what I want. I want all of them. Not awesome. Okay, so this is not 100% satisfactory to me, but I think I just stop here. Otherwise, I get even more confused to you. So in that case, a lot of time font family, let's see if I can just not do anything else, just font family, Bada, just stop here.
老师
Yes.
你问完了这个题
Okay.
再上来
Okay, Audrey, thank you. Okay, so if I do this, I'm not specify anything. And just go here. Okay, much better. Now I have all the font I need. So without the detail. And then afterwards, we can style a little bit. That's all the font we have. So this is really hard one. And another place, yes, okay, that's the font. Font also, that's. And if you want to know like a little bit better instruction for the font, of course, still the W3. Okay, that's the font also. Okay, go back this one. So the second I will tell is about the icon. So this basically is all use the, I'm not so third party, is public available library. And that's all the website use this. That's the new website. If I think the other way even harder. Anyway, I think even the corporate website, they use this way, and the individual website use this way. Okay, next is icon. You see in our side website, we use icon, we don't draw it. Why I tell you about the font first, because this icon we use exactly, it's a similar technology, but this is not a Google font. It's called the Font Awesome icon. So this is all the icon. Look again. What they use. That's what they use. I'm going to delete this one. Font. So it's almost like you see, we use W3 and we use the font Awesome. And here's the font. And you see, you have the font right away. And what you do is you just see class equal to FA home, search, all this. So that's great. We have this font just by include the library. The problem is, how do we know what the, see here's the font. How do we know is what's the font available? So here's, let's see what they do. They have a good example. So the question is, how do we know this font available if I want to find some other font? So, okay, number one, you use a font. See here's just like any character or anything. For example, if I want a font show at the beginning of this text. And I want to show this at the end of this text. So you just treat it as a special character. You see, I put at the beginning, I put at the end, and here's the size. If you don't do anything, will be there. And here is tell you the font, and you can okay, this is some. So if you want to make a font bigger or small, it just go with your paragraph. So you treat it as a text. If I see this text, I call it XX large. You see, this text extra large, it's W3 happen to have this definition. You see, your image will be the same. So if I want to make, for example, one of it really, really big, for example here. Want to make it really, really big, here is you see, that's what I do. I block this as a section and make it big, for example here. Okay, so this is big. And if I want at some point, like I want this bigger, but inline, for example, I use a span tag. So the whole text is smaller, for example, here, it's just a little smaller. And I make this extra large. Oh, okay, so I changed this one because this, the whole paragraph is still the same, but I want to move this to here. You see here is a paragraph, it's a regular paragraph, but all the text in one size, and I just want a one icon, just like a one text. It's really, really big. Okay, you see here, just this one really, really big. Everything else is regular size. So the span tag is called inline tag. So you see it's inline. And the div is a block, basically a whole, almost like a paragraph, a whole line. So we back to the same question as Google font. You know, it's so nice, so good. Oh, yes, I know how to put this here, the icon here. And I know how to use it just to treat as text, as long we have this link found awesome. How do I find this icon? So you search found awesome. Here's the official Found Awesome page. The problem with Found Awesome is the thing I really struggle with everybody else. If you go to official site, it's just promote. You see here's the Found Awesome. You see here's version 6 available. And here's version 5 and etc. And then you go to their official website. You click icon. And then you see all the icons you need. And here's the free. All this shaded is you have to buy it. And all this rest is free, so I always go to free. And for example, I want arrow, for example. So you put it here and you search arrow. Here give you all the different arrows. And then if you want anyone, for example, I want this one. What they do is give you image and give you more arrows you can look. But the key thing is here. You see how you use it? Here's I class, of course, here they said you copy it. I just highlight it. Copy. Then I need to know it, need to do is just put it in my place. Now the new problem come out. You see, I don't see my icon. See, the problem is which one I was looking, which page I was at. Oh yeah. That is really headache is if you just search here, it's a version 5.8. And in our case, we use version 4.7. So that's the problem is if you want an icon, you have to find the whatever the library here, you have to put the library version. You see the newer version as a problem. Now I searched Found Awesome to see which one. Here is, I find the version 4.7. If I'm at a 4.7 icon, now I have all this icon. Now you can search the same thing, arrow. You see, give you all the arrow. It's the same arrow here. You click it, give you all the example, and here is their code. Looks, the code is so different. You see here called FAFA arrow. Here is called FAS something. So we don't need that. And here's error hiding thing. We can either delete or ignore. They recommend, it's recommended there. You see here's error you find out. You see here. It's different. So if we use a font awesome, the usage is easy. You know, you look here, here's the code, you do it. Here's font awesome library. The problem, just pay attention to the version. And when you use it, you definitely need to Google it. That's how I find it, version 4.7 here. I Googled it. And it's a great thing. And so far, there's 5. Here I read the article, it said how to migrate from version 4. You see 4.7 is 4 to 5. They said that you use the header, see here, and plus this one. So at this time, I stick with the 4.7 as instruct here. When you write a software, it's always have the newest version, and sometimes certain thing is not support very well. I personally always go one version older. So this way it's just be safe. All right, I hope not confuse everybody too much. Okay. So now we concentrate on the struggle on the Google font and the font awesome. Font awesome is icon because it's use a public domain library, and on their website, they're not very good to tell you, even they say how to start, not very good to tell you how to do it. And of course, you can do the same thing as I mentioned, you download. But when you download, it's not hard. You see here's font awesome. You copy here. That's why sometimes you better download, and it's a whole bunch of CSS. It's just like a W3 CSS. It's a whole bunch of CSS. Okay. Question. Look the Portland CFA website. And I do use icon. I like use icon. It's just so looks kind of interesting. And use some image, but I like use icon. You see the icon size, it's the same as text. And here is same size as text, just all larger. And here is copyright and up to top. And especially contact, I like to use icon even more. You see here's email, and here's $sign, here's bigger, small, bigger. So. Okay, any question? Okay, if you don't have a question, I switch to another topic, a little bit of fun. It's a table. You know, if I want to find something, it's hard to find, always use the Control F search table. So this will search the entire text on this particular page. So last time we used standard HTML page table, not standard. It's just what we call raw. It's not that attractive. So W3 CSS styling and make table looks a little bit more attractive. For example, here is, you swap it, you see has the shade line. This won't swap, just go to strip table. And here's the table with line underneath. So here is table has a border around. And there's a table with text centered. And this right align. That's what we used before, right align. You see table left, left, and here's right. And here's the first example, is hover over. See, the title is not hover over. And here's the hover with color. And this one is not hard. It's just a table definition. You see table class, table all, W3, and put a card on top of it. And here is the table, you know, the table definition is W3 table all, and then you can add thing to it. You see W3 tiny and the W3 card. And here W3 small, and here W3 large, and here W3 extra large, and XX extra large. So this XX large is just a font size. And when you write something, okay, we go back.
There's a responsive table. Can you show that a little bit more?
Responsive table. This is
on the same page. If you somewhere in the middle of the page.
Oh, responsive. Let's see.
Yeah, I think I saw it. Yeah, there.
Okay, here's responsive. Let's see how it's responsive. Look at it's table long. They put a table because the table, we don't want the thing stack. If we stack it, how this going to work? It's not going to be easy. So we still want to keep the shape. So that is the responsive table.
Nice, thank you.
I can just start to try it here. Okay, today's topic, you see this font, and the font awesome is the thing you will use in your website for sure, but it's beyond the simple HTML. So that's why it's table, so makes sense. Okay, we start at the beginning. Look at the top, how to make the first table. So W3 table is used. So if you use just W3 table, that looks like this. So the definition is exactly same as we have before. Table, row, and this they put, you know, you put a TH or TD, it's really is the same. Copy here. You know, it's just the people, they have a preference, want the header. You see here's table. It's, yes, the difference, if you put a TH, I try to cut something out, not disturb us too much. You see here, this, that's why I said that this your best friend. You always try to remember, yes, the comment. I like this comment. You see, when you comment out, you leave the code here and you can experiment something else. You not erase it. So if I don't use a TH, I just use a TD. TD is a column. TR is row. Excuse me. You see, if you don't use a TH, just a regular TD is part of it. It works, but just not a highlight. And remember, this is not a guarantee because we have a W3 styling here. So it helps us. If in any other regular table, it may not highlight. So just keep in mind, but it's just a good way to separate the header line and the regular column line. So that's, see, if don't do anything, that's the table. And then we can start to, see, started to keep add more thing to it. You see, here's the table and we want to strip. See, now I have a strip, and yes, I want more rows. 02, Smith 252. Okay, it's alternate. And then if we see bordered, this I'm not, you see, just a regular table and add a border. It's this example, it seems like only bordered inside, not outside. We can take a look how they bordered it. Say what they do is they first put a container around the table. Look, my table. Oh yeah, I do have a container. So, and see, bordered. It's just like a bordered this line. So it's not help too much. We skip this one. I like the stripped. Okay, and the strip, the border, they just add together. Here, round the table. That's basically we always do. We want the border around a table. See here, they call the border, other call the border. Normally not what I want the border. You see the difference? Like here said the bordered. It's only create the strips between the borderline. Alright, this looks nicer. This will be the table I want to have. Okay, I stop here for a few minutes. Any question? You know what I like? I just look here. I like to have a strip and a border around. So basically they made a new definition just called one thing, W3 table all. Basically these three add together. So that's it. So since I like it, they combine all together. I don't have to stack them one by one. Okay, I think this is the information I'm going to give you today. So I still want to know is how many of you think you are going to send me your homework next week? Even a simple one. Okay. Good. So next week is our last class. I know we scrambled, squeeze everything in this today's fifth session and the sixth session, basically fifth session for lecture and the last session for review the homework. I know it's but because we know it's school going to start, and so we squeezed a lot of information in. That's why I jump it, and the certain thing I think it's less important. I'm not saying it's not important, and the less used, I skipped it. So that's why I still want to do the Google font and this font awesome, this icon, because that's one of the things people frequently use. Can you change the color of strip? Yes, definitely. It's here is, which is flip the strip. All right, we can skip this. To flip the strip, start with light gray. Okay, so this is the first one. It's changing color. We are not going to consider this. We center this. We're changing color. Here's alignment. Here they talk about the color. Here's the hover over. If the entire table we want to use, you see my mouse goes over it. Okay, I just add the thing before they ask my question, the color of the table. Okay, so that's perfect. Now it's the color. See here is hover color. The hover and the color, you put your color definition. And here is each, you see, at the row level, that means entire row. If I don't talk about the hover, I talk about the color. Yes, here's W3 color. You put your color at the row level. So TR, the row level. Okay, let's see what's your question. Oh, color the strip. Okay. Color the strip. Let's see. Let's see what else. The whole thing. Okay. We have a strip, border, the center, the hover, table all. And I definitely don't like this, like each one is separate. Each one is, initial color is this. That's not. Okay, I don't know this moment because this will not mention it. I definitely need to do some research. My guessing is, yeah, they already put a color at the top. That means entire thing going to be colored, the same color. Take this out, you see, just give a try. No, not work. So this won't work. I was thinking,
How come the fonts becomes all white?
that's why I must have a mistake. There's a font thing. I must have a tag as a mistake somewhere. I go back not to have anything to correct my problem first.
Ah,
Okay. So I must have some kind of error. Okay. Let's see. Bottom. Yeah, I put it the same. You know, I said the only difference, I said the table all and put a blue. That seems like a conflict. It's don't like it. You see here's color so light. If I remove all, that's just a blue table. Okay, sorry, not answer your question. That's something I think
I think how about you try strip now? Just W3 stripped and then W3 blue.
okay. You talk
But
about
not all. You have to, yeah. Doesn't work.
not work. It's a good. It's very good at guessing. You know, that's basically what I do. It's just like do a intelligent guess, but that's it. Just intelligent guess. If it's not a work, it's just be sorry. And that's what we used before. It's W3 align. You see, you have the align to right alignment. Here's. Anyway, I guess that's for today. All right. So I still expect some of you turn in your homework. And if not, that's okay too. I do a summary, what we learned. I think I'm not going to board you anymore with the Google font and the font awesome. That's kind of a little bit too hard because their documentation is terrible. That's basically make our life is so hard. But any of you going to be a intern or teacher's assistant, not intern. So basically, and then you join the club, and if you have any issues, problems during the time you updated the web page, and you have a chance to learn more. Hope they have a more update. So the basic update is you see for our website, we have all this event page, and our organizer and want this website to keep update more. You see, because right now I'm the only person, and in fact, all this page last year is one of the high schooler. They said, okay, update this for me. You read the section, I tell you basically just W3. So internally is because the whole thing is used W3 web CSS, and inside you can use all the tags you want. You see, I put a YouTube, all the tags you want to put here. And you also can just put nothing there too, but that's not the purpose, to make the content looks better, prettier. So that's what we want to do. And just any community activities, things. And here is, I think I made a use page, use group console, most of you there. It's a new domain, use.portlandcfa. And same thing, I just copied. So activities. So if I don't have time, you see here's icon. I think this may not be icon, this is something else. So anyway, you will have a chance to practice more. Of course, I get several people, student interested to be the intern or volunteer. So, okay. And if you like repeat of this same class, and let me know, maybe during winter or sometime we can do this again. So and at that time, if you have some questions or you're more prepared. Right now, I think I'm just like stuffed all the information to you. I need to stop this for a moment.